Use VPN only for certain domains host names. I'm using OpenVPN on Windows with a tap adapter. I know you can specify a route to a specific IP address to go to your local internet connection. However, it can't do the same for a hostname domain. Is there a way to keep my traffic on the VPN but route requests to www.google.com, for example, through my default gateway at home, 192.168.1.1 in my case? I was thinking that I could set 127.0.0.1 www.google.com in my hosts file and run a local Apache and deal with a rule set in there, but I'd rather not have to run a local web server proxy if there is another way I don't know about.
You can specify a route to a host name only if you use allowable FQDN. Details can be found in the OpenVPN manual.
You can add this to the .ovpn file. Then on OpenVPN startup, this will look up www.google.com, get its IP address, and then add a route for that using the net, not VPN. The problem is, Google uses multiple IP addresses, so when you try to visit Google, it will still use the VPN unless you happen to hit the same IP address it looked up when it started. One hack is to get one of the IP addresses that Google uses and add it to your etc. hosts, so then your machine will always use the same IP address for Google, and the openvpn route command will accomplish what you want. Problem is, of course, if Google ever stops using that IP address or, for whatever reason, wants to route you to a different IP address, then it fails.
I know this entry is very late to the game, but I recently spent several hours researching this same topic and figured I'd help others that might be looking for the same thing. While the most common use case is route everything through your VPN, there are two exception scenarios when it comes to VPNs. You want mostly all traffic to go through the VPN, with a few exceptions. You only have a couple of sites that you want to route through the VPN. Route most with exceptions. For scenario number 1, David's response works just fine. To overcome the multiple IPs issue, do a Hoy's lookup and create the route for an IP address block, not just an IP address. Note that you might have to perform several lookups to get the entire set of IP address blocks. Route just a few. David's response also applies to scenario number 2, however, you add the route not pool option to prevent the server from sending a default route for the VPN. I haven't tested it, but I suppose you could add your own default route to point to your net_gateway. Testing the configs. I like to add routes for ifconfig.co, ifconfig.me, whatismyip.com, and myexternalip.com, because it allows me to quickly test what profile I'm running, either full VPN or split tunneling. When I'm running full VPN, all sites will return my VPN address. Otherwise, ifconfig.co and whatismyip.com will return my local address, while ifconfig.me and myexternalip.com will return my VPN address. Or, I know it's nothing special, but I provide some details that would really have helped me when I was looking around. I hope this helps at least one person. I'd love to hear about any other VPN tips or tricks out there. Happy secure surfing.
Traffic